back
and then have it set where like, you know how I usually like it, where you show the screen from OBS in just a little bit so I could see the comments and shit. We live right now?
You can see that far away though.
Oh shit.
Yeah, my contacts in.
I ain't got these big eyes for nothing, Kayla.
So hold on, guys. You can see what that says right there. Those words.
Oh, for sure.
Entertainment, public.
If I squint, I can see it.
23, 10:30 p.m.
We can see.
This is an eye test and a podcast.
At the same damn time. Oh man, we got something damn Shaw. Shout out
pass.
Nino.
Oh
man, Silk Talk Podcast episode 5.
So 5.
The crowd screaming. Oh, the illest podcast in the motherfucking world. Oh man, first and foremost, I want to thank people for supporting the journey as always. This is the 5th installment of the illest podcast in the world, and I want to thank you wholeheartedly from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. We appreciate you. Say thank you.
Thank you.
Me and Divinity, we're sharing mics this podcast. This is probably the largest podcast that we've had, like guest-wise. Yeah. We usually just have one guest.
I'm a little nervous to share this mic with Anu. He's very like, don't grab the mic from my hand. So I'm very like, okay, how am I going to approach this?
All Anu wants is some common courtesy, and it's just stressing her out. I don't know what it is.
Like, how should I go like this? Should I be like?
No, don't do that.
I know
You're supposed to like tap your shoulder every time.
You could tap my shoulder, but I'll be courteous of you. Like I'll say what I gotta say.
Light tap.
Put it in a neutral position.
Neutral. Okay, nice.
It'll go here.
All right.
And then when you're done, you know.
Okay.
Let it go and we share. So anyway, your host, Honor the Deity, record label CEO of BKOSEASON, the best label in the motherfucking world, recording artist of about 5 years, living in LA. My beautiful co-host,
Divinity.
You like how I pass it to you, right?
I enjoy it, yeah. We smoking big blunts out here. We smoking King Palms out here.
Mic.
It is kind of like the size of the mic a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We got the big thoinks tonight. And to introduce my amazing guest, man, we came a long way.
Yes,
it's y'all were there at the inception of Silk Talk.
Yeah.
When I was just on my IG live and I was just in my silk robe and I was just like, I'm in LA, bitch, chase your dreams, bitch. Y'all were there and look at what it manifested into.
Good to be here.
A beautiful ass manifestation.
Beautiful manifestation. So happy to be here. We're all in silk, cozy, Saturday night vibes in LA.
Oh man, so let's see. I have my beautiful friend Tori. Oh man, Tori is an amazing person. We've been friends for a really long time. If it weren't for Tori, we wouldn't even be here right now talking to y'all. So shout out Tori.
We need to
shout out. Yes.
And I don't know if I would be here if it wasn't for you guys either. You know, same way.
Love that.
If I didn't meet you guys back in 2019 or 18,
around that.
I think it was the end of 2018.
Yeah,
beginning
about
of
then.
2019
in the dirty streets of Boston.
Boston.
You know?
Boston.
Yeah. We also have my homie Drew Ski.
What's good?
What up, Drew?
What up?
Oh man, me and Drew, we met on Melrose when I first came to LA. I went to Melrose and I remember I checked up your shop you had on Melrose.
Yeah,
it was a cool ass shop. And you was a cool ass dude.
Appreciate that.
And I was like, who's this cool ass dude with this cool ass shop?
That's B.
Yeah. So you were super duper cool. And you kind of just been like rocking with us ever since, bro. Super appreciate you. Happy that you're here. You know what I'm saying?
It's good to be here, bro.
Appreciate you.
I like the whole podcast setup and just the name of it, Silk Talk. It's good to be here. You gave me the silk robe, so
yeah, I had to bless you one time.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Oh man.
Now I'm ready.
Yes, let's get it. And my amazing friend KAYLA, a big supporter of my Silk Talks. For sure. I never forgot after my Silk Talks, you called me. You were like, yo, I love your Silk Talks. I'm like, you do?
Oh, I lived for them. I think you're one of the funniest people I know. So
wow, KAYLA.
Put you in a silk robe.
Thank you.
Front of a
with
camera.
the shades
Good
and
night.
the do-rag. Good night.
The shades and the do-rag.
I love
those
it.
Oakleys?
I don't know. Someone said something on this other live. Does it say Oakley
Word.
on it? Or are they Boakleys?
Battle Vision.
Bootleg. They Boakleys.
Melrosie's.
Melrosie's. I don't remember where I got these. Oh, I got these at my old job when I used to trim weed. One of my bosses came in and had a bunch of them.
Oh,
And I remember I put them on. I'm like, nah, these are them.
No, literally.
These are
those
them.
are so fire.
Yeah.
I've been looking for a pair like that.
Yeah.
Some
No, these are
colored
fire. He
lenses.
just came in and blessed me. So
Fire.
yeah. What were you saying? You
Surprised
surprised?
you didn't put the new ones on, the ones you just bought.
I think I wore them to last podcast.
Switching it up.
You gotta switch. I gotta keep it fresh. I gotta switch up the do rag, the glasses. I gotta keep it like, every podcast gotta be a little something different. But speaking of something different for the podcast, what's today's topic? What we finna talk about?
We're currently going to talk about what's it like to live in LA. I feel like all of us are not from LA. We've all moved from different areas and just live out here. We're just giving our opinions, our topics about what it's like to live in LA. I feel like a lot of people have dreams. I want to move out here. I want to move to a big city. I want to live a different life and start fresh. And like a lot of people are scared to do it, honestly. People talk it all the time and say, I'm going to do these things. And like they don't do it. But now I feel like... You're distracting me. Distracting me. I'm sorry. And I feel like we're one of the people that are out here actually living it and actually having the real raw life experiences of living out here in Los Angeles, California. So yeah, that's gonna be our topic today. I'm like really excited to go deep into it.
Same.
Yeah.
We have lots of stories.
Lots of stories. Yeah.
So I guess the next question is, who wants to go first?
We can
Who
start.
got some stories to tell?
We can start
We
by
all
like
do.
how long we've been out here and why we wanted to move out here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess I could start. I've been out here for about 2020 would be 3 years. October 2020. So it'd be like coming up to 3 years. And first we told the story on the other podcast about how Anu wanted to move out here first because he wanted to like live a different lifestyle, and I had to think about it, and like I decided like fuck it, I'm gonna move too. But we both were a little chicken about moving, and I feel like who really made this a reality for us was our beautiful friend Tori. That was like, I'm moving out of LA. Like, you can go forward with like your story about it, but I feel like you really convinced us to like come out here. You moved out here first, and then you were like,
Yeah, because you guys were thinking of New York, which I was too. But I came out here in 2019 and I went to Rolling Loud by myself. I just wanted to do a solo trip. And I just felt so comfortable out here by myself, and I knew there was so much opportunity out here, and I had been throwing events in Boston and DJing for a few years.
fire
and
events in Boston.
I just
fire events.
wanted to get out of Boston. I just wanted something different. I wanted better weather too, and it was the middle of the pandemic. I was like, fuck it, it's time.
We need to talk about the pandemic out here too.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean,
Y'all
it
didn't
was
even
just
see
like
the worst
a
of
good
it.
time for me and a good time for y'all too. And
She
you
was
guys
dumb
came
cheap.
out a month after, and I was so happy because we just got so close, and I knew you guys were gonna move, and I don't know. We just got so close, so I was really happy that you guys made the move out here instead of New York.
I know. The weather really sold me too. Like the weather's conspiracy theory, but I think the weather's definitely controlled by the government.
Oh my God.
Because it's like one type of weather to two types of weather. There's like cloudy, rainy, and then there's like sunny, beautiful. So it's like two different types of weather. So I feel like it's definitely controlled in a way. Like I have the feeling.
I want to talk about that
Go ahead.
time that, sorry, Drew.
No,
I
go
want
ahead.
to talk about the time that the three of you guys came out here before y'all even moved. Do you remember that? You were like scoping out the scene.
Yeah,
That was fun.
that was September 2020.
No,
Well,
you
no,
moved
August.
It might have even been July.
It was like
late
the end of July, August when we came out here.
Does anybody remember anything that we did during that trip that you guys were here? You guys were here for like 2 weeks.
Fuck, I don't
What did we do?
I think we
remember,
were
dude.
only here for 1 week.
I know we smoked a lot of
But-
weed. A lot of
Yeah.
weed.
Yeah, I feel like we were just hanging. Like, I don't remember doing too much. I think we went to like Santa Monica. I feel like I have a picture on the pier at that time.
So why did you want to move to LA? Like, what was your perception of it at the time?
Well, like I said, just like more opportunity. I wanted to move out of my mom's house. The rent was just expensive in Boston, so I was like, I might as well just spend that money somewhere where I would really want to be. And yeah, that was just it. It was like a good time for rent too. I mean, I was living in K-Town for $1,100 a month, like.
Oh, that apartment
Stupid
though.
I mean,
that apartment.
So the apartment looked good.
Oof, I remember the day we moved you into that apartment. You and me, we moved you into that apartment.
Kayla fucking moved me into that apartment. Me and Kayla.
We were so excited. We were fucking partying in there, dancing it up.
K-Town is the cheapest place to move.
It was like 90 degrees that day.
Yeah, but that apartment.
It was literally 90 degrees with no AC. We were like melting and.
That's K-Town.
And there was
a
little roach problem there. They didn't tell me in the
Tori's not used to roaches like that, OD. Me and Anu Tori had to convince me and Anu. I'm sorry, I grabbed it.
That's the thing though with LA.
Me and Anu were like, it's okay if the place has roaches. Tori's like, don't live in a place that has roaches.
Hey, but in New York, you can't find an apartment for $1,100 though. So it's like that's one thing about LA that
for that
sets it apart.
Nah, real shit.
It was
I remember that story. Me and T were going apartment hunting, and we had this one apartment. Yo, it was so hot in that motherfucker, bro. But it had a banging ass view.
Yep.
But man, I should have a little roach problem. I ain't gonna hold you.
The roaches could even survive. Like seriously,
they was eating each other in that motherfucker.
They survive.
Them roaches was eating each other in that motherfucker, boy. It was having like World War III in that motherfucker, bro. Like,
roaches will survive.
I seen one of them roaches with an AK-47 shooting them.
Smoking blunts.
Yeah, literally.
Smoking blunts in the corner. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Dude, I freeze up.
No.
I freeze up when I see them.
But so we left. We told Tori. T was like, yo, it's a nice crib, but it got a little roach problem. Tori was like, I don't know, guys. Y'all don't deserve no roaches.
They're not paying rent.
No, real shit.
They don't need to live with you.
In any snaps for the pet.
I'm sitting here thinking nah, it's LA. It's just how they all are.
Yeah, but they're all up in your space though.
We
They're
used to that
fucking
shit.
everywhere, and you turn the lights off, and then they think that they're free to roam wherever the fuck they want. And that's
I would always catch them in my kitchen too, like near the sink, and then I just wouldn't even want to eat my snacks, even if I like wrapped them up good. I just would I don't know. I would skeeve everything.
Oh, I didn't keep food
I would
in my
just be
house.
grossed out by anything. Unless I was cooking it fresh, like
I was not
coming
keeping
out of my
food
fridge.
in that house. There was nothing in my fridge. There was nothing in my house. I lived in a studio apartment, like ground floor studio bungalow style apartment, for like 8 months, and only 8 months for a reason. Like that place scared the living shit out of me. I moved in 2 days after I moved in. I was coming home from work, dropping my car off, picking up a bag that I had already packed and left, ready to go, and I was on my way to Miami. And I walked in to my apartment, and the first thing I see is a roach, like sitting right next to my bag that's supposed to be coming with me to Miami. I start crying. I start screaming. I'm freaking out, like absolutely losing it. They scare me to no end, and they have like.
They're like dinosaurs.
They look weird.
Bodies, you know.
Why are roaches so scary? They don't even bite. Like everyone just hates them. You know
They've been around like.
They can survive.
Years,
they can survive like nuclear warfare.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah. And you know what? A shrimp is actually an underwater roach.
For real?
No.
Yeah.
That's why I don't. Like
I'm
shrimp.
sorry.
But they're
I ate some shrimp the other day though. I mean, they're bottom feeders.
I think
they filled on the bottom.
I think they eat algae.
Algae and whatever's at the bottom of the ocean.
No.
Oh.
Roaches?
No, shrimps.
New fear unlocked.
No.
I'm crying.
I'm terrified.
Okay, cool. So Tori came to LA for some real super dope reasons. What about you, Drew?
Me, yeah, I had a specific reason for coming to LA. I used to have a store in the Bay. I sold vintage and like resale clothes, sneakers and shit. And I wanted to level up, so I came from the Bay Area to Los Angeles, opened a store on Melrose, and then 3 weeks later, the pandemic came out of nowhere and just hit. So got shut down, but I'm still here. I mean, fuck it. I opened up my store for a couple months near the end, and I just got out my lease because Melrose started to change. The atmosphere wasn't the same for stores, so I just got out of the store game. Now I just sell clothes online. But yeah, still here, still enjoying LA, making the most out of it, enjoying my life. So that's basically why I came. So yeah.
Would you say the pandemic affected like most of the stores?
Yeah, they shut down everything here. Like in Florida, they didn't shut everything down, but here they did, and it really affected a lot of businesses. I was one of them. So yeah, not a big fan. Not a big fan of how they handled it, but that's just my opinion. You know, I understand it was like a complicated topic, but yeah, fuck it.
Hey, but you still thugging it out though.
Still made it.
Cool. So you're still selling clothes online?
Yeah, I just sell clothes.
Where can people go buy your clothes? I wanted to look at what you got.
Just go on the Instagram, Maroon Studios, and if you're in LA, you can come to the showroom. It's like a place in downtown LA where I keep my clothes, and you can shop in person. So yeah.
That's fine. He said, "I got a showroom."
Well,
I got no store, but I got a showroom, baby.
Exactly. That's like a common thing in LA. Everybody's trying to get showrooms now that sells clothes. So I'm one of these showroom people. But I had it before it became a popular trend. So
why are showrooms popular now? So like, what exactly is a showroom for those?
A
who
showroom
may not know?
is usually like some type of loft in the downtown LA art district, and you put your clothes in there, and then you can promote. A lot of people promote on Instagram already. They got their brand, but now they have a physical space that's like in a cool city, aka Los Angeles. So it just gives you like a physical presence now that people are like seeking that. Now that the pandemic's over, it's cool to have like a physical presence, but not a store, like private kind of.
So it's kind of more like an exclusive shopping
Yeah,
experience.
just for people that have followers, the people
that's
that follow
bougie,
can
bro.
pull up when they're in town. Yeah, so
That's bougie,
yeah, it's a
bro.
little bougie.
It's
Yeah.
my favorite place to shop.
She always buys stuff.
cannot.
I can
I
We live
cannot.
together.
Tori sells
We
clothes
get
too.
drip together.
Yeah, every
So,
time I rock up
pull
to
up.
the showroom, I
Pull up.
I
got
love
men's and
something in
women's
my
clothes.
hands.
Pull up.
That's beautiful. I love that you like transition into doing clothes too, Tori. From like you had a big transition too from like straight doing events.
I
from,
was
like in
throwing
Boston.
events and DJing, and then I moved out here, and I mean, it was the middle of the pandemic. It takes time to get gigs in a whole new place, and
You still did a lot of gigs. You did cool
I
gigs
did a
too.
few.
You did. You did
When
like
you first got here, you were moving and grooving.
For sure.
I was doing
Yeah.
some gigs.
You were posting
yeah.
up on my kitchen in my dining room,
Yo.
live streaming DJ.
Yep.
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 I remember that shit.
Yeah, I was
Indeed.
doing some live stream DJing.
We were behind the camera dancing like.
That was fun.
And then you
Different. It was like a transition in my DJing, and then I met Drew, and
How
was
did
just
you
trying
meet
to
Drew
make
though?
money.
Like you gotta talk about that.
Well, Kev.
Awesome.
I didn't realize
Me,
that
you, and
had met-
Kev.
you
Yeah.
introduced them. I had no idea.
Little Death Star.
Oh man,
Well, Death
Death Star, man. Google me, baby. Google Lil Death Star.
and Tori Double Cup.
And Tori Double Cup.
Tori Double Cup.
Oh, dude, you're gonna find some things. Put the work in.
We were just walking on Melrose. We went for a hike, and then we went to Melrose, and Kev was like, "Oh, Tori, you gotta check out this store. Like, I went here. The dude's mad cool. He sells people's local artists' clothes and stuff, and yeah, you gotta meet him." And I was like, "All right, cool, let's go." And I fucked with the store so much. Immediately, like, I was looking at everything. I remember there was this bucket hat I tried on that was so sick.
Damn, you really put the word in.
I had to.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Real recognize
Put me
real.
on.
You really
I
put
said,
Tori
he real,
on.
she real. It's gonna be a real nigga moment.
And Drew had on his Ricardo Tisci Air Forces.
Yeah,
She still remember what you
Remembers
got.
what he had on.
Wow.
She still remember what you
those Air
had.
Forces. I had them in a different colorway, and I was like, oh shit, like, dope. I always like look at people's shoes for some reason. Like, what do you got on there?
Swag check. You gotta check the swag sometimes. You gotta see what the temperature is.
And then,
Hey,
yeah,
you
I just
passed the
asked
swag
up
check.
to DJ. I shot my shot. I was like, hey, like, I can come DJ while you're open, pull up with my stuff. And he was like, yeah, come through this weekend. I'm like, all right. lit. Like, that was fucking easy. Now I'm DJing on Melrose. I just moved to LA. This is lit.
Yeah,
That's
lit.
big.
And I was so geeked when I did that. I was playing all the music I wanted to play, which was rare. Like, as a DJ in Boston, I could never do that unless it was like my events and stuff. Or, I mean, I did a lot of like cool events that people booked me for that I could play what I wanted, but it was hard to get booked like a lot playing whatever I wanted, more underground shit. And then that's how we met too, when I was DJing out in Boston. T and Kev pulled up to one of my events that I was spinning. And yeah, once me and Drew met, we started hanging out a lot and took our time to get to know each other and got so close. And yeah, he was reselling on Etsy, and I'm pretty sure you were doing Etsy at the time, and I was working for him a little bit, and I was like, and then he told me that I should resell, and I was like, shit, I should. Like, I went to school for fashion merchandising. It made sense for me. There's so many markets and like Depop, and I was starting to go to estate sales. Like, you put me onto the estate sales out here, and then just thrifting like I do. Yeah, I just got right into it. Started going on Melrose, setting up right on the street, like, fuck it. And I sold a lot of like my own pieces at first, and it gave me a lot of momentum at the beginning, like selling all those pieces of my own that I really loved, that I was just like over, and I was like, I'm gonna get new stuff now with this money and like build a brand. And yeah, I've been doing that since 2021 now, almost 2 years.
Wow.
And
I know the whole story.
yeah, I love it. And I've been styling too. KAYLA has modeled for me. T and Kev have modeled for me. I've styled you guys. Like, it's
Tori's
been
a stylist too. You are a stylist.
So many occasions.
Been so much fun. And I love like shooting in general. Like, that is like my favorite, like putting the pieces together.
Me
like,
too. I enjoy doing that with you.
We're gonna be doing a lot more of that.
I'm ready to do
I'm gonna get like a bunch of like silk robes. I'm gonna start a collection for you guys.
Oh my
too,
God,
for,
thank
like,
you.
I'm gonna style this on another level too.
I want to mention too that like I think it's awesome that you use your college diploma in your everyday life. Because like, how many people go to school for like college and like use their diploma now?
Yeah, literally when I graduated, I started DJing.
For your own business. Like, went to school for fashion merchandising and use it as their everyday business as an entrepreneur young woman in LA. Like, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's like my favorite thing. I love that.
I mean, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a fashion designer, and in high school, I was doing dental assisting. Me and KAYLA went to the same school. We were doing dental assisting.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the path I was going. And then college was coming, and my parents were like, all right, where are you going? I was like, I don't know. And yeah.
You went to Fisher
I was
first,
like,
right?
well, if I'm going to go to college, I guess I'm going to do something with fashion, because that's the only thing I'm interested in. I just didn't even think about college. Like, I don't know. Just wasn't thinking like that, but they wanted me to go, and I went for fashion merchandising, and Boston just wasn't really the place for me to continue growing with fashion.
Had to spread your wings.
And yeah, I mean, I also love music and so many other things, but I'm happy I got into fashion again, and like being out here doing it is so fun, and I can really express my style out here, and it's always evolving, which is awesome, which my brand is also evolving, kind of taking a little break right now to like make some changes. And
what's the name of your brand for people that don't know?
It's Pop Vulture.
Right now.
Pop Vulture.
Liddy.
777 on Instagram.
Okay.
And Depop.
So you came to LA to level up.
Yeah.
Drew also came to LA to level up.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Leveling up.
What did you come to LA for, KAYLA?
God,
What's
I
your
wish
reason?
I wish I could tell you guys.
Ooh,
Honestly.
yeah.
Kayla's been here the longest of all of us.
I have been
Really,
OG.
how many Tori
years
to like
now?
move out here? Would you say you?
You the OG.
I know,
OG.
OG. I actually can't believe it. It's kind of sickening.
Makes me want to vomit.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, I came out here when I had just turned 20. I was.
Oh, I forgot you, Kayla. You're so young.
Yeah, I had just turned 20 when I moved out here. I had come out here to visit a friend who lived in OC, so she didn't even live in LA. We came up to LA. A friend. Do you remember Dario Santiago?
Yeah.
Dario Santiago was partying in LA. He just happened to be in LA the same time that I was, and he was like, "Come to this club," and so we pulled up to the club, and fake IDs got us right in.
Hey.
And yeah, I don't know. I fell in love with the city. I fell in love with the weather. You know, we all come from the same place. Not you, but I mean similar weather there. You know what I mean?
Everyone except
Nah,
you.
definitely not. No, the Bay
No?
Area is not like Boston.
Oh shit! All right. Well, never
Not
mind.
as cold. No.
Yeah, I just wanted something different, and when I decided to move out here, I had met some people, and they were like, "Well, you can crash on our couch until you get on your feet," and I was like, "Okay, okay." So I just booked a flight on my way. I was on the plane on my way back to Boston, coming from LA, and I had extended my trip like I want to say 3 times. I extended my flight. I finally came back, and on my flight, I booked a one-way ticket back to LA like for 3 weeks after I had landed. It was right after Christmas and New Year's.
I feel that.
January 2019. So I got a good year of LA before COVID, which was nice.
What was?
I wish I got
Changed,
to
man.
experience.
I actually used to
that
visit
fully.
LA, like, you know, because I'm also from California, so we used to drive down from the Bay Area and just party here.
That's still a
But
long ass drive.
it was
though.
like,
Yeah, it is.
it was magical. Like when I first came, like I always wanted to end up living here because, like, growing up in the Bay Area, everybody hates on Los Angeles. Not everybody. Some people in Oakland.
Yeah, there's like a beef, right?
There's somewhat of a beef depending where you're from, but definitely where I'm from, everybody hates on LA. Just
Why is that?
blind hate. I don't know why. It's just like an insult if somebody's from LA, but it makes no sense. Like it's just like literally like some dumb shit.
Yeah, but I can't lie. When I meet a guy and I ask them where they're from and they say LA, I'm like, ooh.
Well, honestly, I had no opinion, like, personally. I just grew up with that, like, type of culture, like, but when I did come down here, like, I always had the greatest time, and just it is hotter than the Bay. The Bay is a little bit, we don't have snow, so it's not quite like Boston, but it is colder.
I thought it got cold up there.
It gets pretty cold, but it doesn't snow. It's not, Boston is like another level to me. But either way, like, it is hotter here, so I like that. But yeah, like, it had a magical feel to it, like pulling up, like the energy, especially pre-pandemic, like the shit was just like,
It was popping.
I don't know, the networking was crazy, like everybody,
It was magical.
yeah, it was, it
It was
really was. It was a
magical.
different type of place.
People
honestly.
were out and about all
Yeah.
the time. It was different. I think there's like a social anxiety that we all have
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
We
facts.
don't really talk about that much, but
I feel that.
yeah, I remember the night that they put the lockdown in place in LA. Me and Tatiana were at a party in the hills, and it was like 7:30, and they put like an Amber Alert on your phone. It was like, you know, the sound that it makes when an Amber Alert.
It's like hella.
Yeah, it's hella loud.
crazy.
And we were at a party,
Wicked
so
loud.
everybody's phones started going off. So we were all like, what the fuck's going on? And they were like, there's a curfew at 8 p.m. In LA, you can't give anybody 30 minutes to get anywhere. It's impossible. So we're like racing down the streets trying to get home. Our neighbor picked us up.
Wait, Kayla, you actually listened to the Amber Alert?
Nah. I
What?
mean, it came up on all of our phones, you know, so
like,
we
you
had
guys
to
listened,
look
like,
at
we
it.
have to leave now. Like, you guys, like, listen to it?
Yeah.
Am I, like, a weirdo that, like, ignores that shit when
Well,
I see it?
Did it say why?
The car's just driving
Because-
past T. She could have saved the kid's life, but she
It
ain't
was
even tripping.
it was like I think it was like March 13th or whatever night that they had put the lockdown in place, where they were like, okay, don't leave the house, like that kind of shit happened when they put a curfew on LA. And I remember they had cops on every single block. Every single block there were cops. They were pulling
Yeah.
people over.
And how many times did you hear like ambulances and
Oh my
sirens like
God.
the first few
Do you
months?
remember,
That shit was crazy.
Do you remember when they had the National Guard here with the tanks? And
Yeah,
that
I
was
do.
when
Yeah.
that year we had a heat wave. It was 120 degrees and
Wait.
they were in long.
What year was this again?
This was 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah,
What year did you move in here, Drew? To LA?
January 2020. So yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was right after
So much happened. The riots or what?
it was it was during the riots.
Yeah.
And it was right after that shop on Melrose caught fire. Somebody like
Yeah, my store got hit in the riots too. So that's another thing that
What happened to your store, bro?
You know what? There's some things that fucking are like basically this. Like a famous celebrity was on Instagram, and this is how I saw this happen. I wasn't at my store the day of the riots. They closed the streets down, so I knew I was gonna be closed. So this famous celebrity posted a video of like somebody sus that wasn't with the crowd busting the windows of my store. And
What the? You see that on IG?
2 seconds later, kids are rioting, but they really don't fuck with my store too much. They just didn't break down the gate that I had, but they just moved on to the next. And a lot of people that I knew like lost pretty much everything they had that day in terms of like, you know, their stores. So
That's
the street
crazy.
changed after that. Like
it was rowdy.
everybody reopened, but yeah, that day was like, you know,
That
the
day,
people took over. They were just like,
Did,
fuck it.
did
Like,
you get
we're
any
running
merchandise
shit.
in stolen?
Huh?
Did you get any merchandise stolen?
I expected to, but actually the next day I didn't really lose that much. But yeah, a lot of
That's
people
good.
did. So I really like, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Fuck it.
It
They-
is
The
what
people
it
showed their
is.
strength in their own way. Like they just took over. Like we couldn't do nothing as business owners. But we have insurance and shit. But like, you know, it was
It's-
a wild day.
It's interesting because I know when those riots were going on, it was very interesting times.
Yeah, it was. Tensions were high.
The tensions were very high.
Yeah.
But one thing specific about the riots, I was seeing, I think they had like clips of that were in New York of like random trucks filled with bricks driving up to random neighborhoods, dropping off a truckload of bricks and just
I
dipping.
saw what I saw with my own 2 eyes happen to my own store. So it's some crazy shit. But at the end of the day, like, whatever, it happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like,
I don't
it
think we're
was-
meant to fucking know like who's running shit. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, who knows who started it? The fact is, like, the people who jumped on board. But think for yourself. That's my only thing. You know
Nah,
what I'm
literally
saying?
think
Like,
for
real.
yourself.
you mad? Here's a ton of bricks.
You're mad. Here's a
Exactly.
ton of bricks.
Just
right
because there's
here
a pile
for
of
ya.
bricks don't necessarily mean you
Don't mean you gotta
know what I'm
throw 'em.
saying? But hey, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
You know
nah,
what I
it
mean?
was
Fair
very
enough.
interesting. It was very interesting times. Like there definitely was like a lot of things going on behind the scenes with those
Hell
riots.
yeah.
It just didn't feel right.
Didn't
There's a
feel
son
right.
about it was like, it don't really sit right with me. And like we had went to like well not a riot but a protest.
Yeah, we went to like 3.
Like
Right.
3.
Yeah.
It went to like 3 and it was just
Right.
like the first one, you know, you're really passionate, like, yeah, like we're standing up for something. And the second one it's like, okay, like we're just chanting the same stuff, like whatever.
I
And
feel
the
it.
third one I was just like, man, like, is this even helping?
Yeah.
I feel
Like
it.
what's really gonna help?
But you
This
know what?
shit
In
we
Europe,
going
they be
through.
doing this shit on the regular. So that's why, like, for me, I'm just like, you know what? We're just starting to turn into like Europeans in that sense. Like, we're not afraid to fucking riot. Like, business owners in Paris, France, got to deal with a riot literally every year because people
Yeah.
don't like a law, and French people aren't afraid to like
They are professionals. at
to
rioting.
yeah, they're professionals
And
at it
striking.
and protesting. It's not just rioting. Like,
Yeah.
They
but yeah,
strike.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Well, I
That's
definitely
one way
feel
to
like
make change. Like, maybe Americans are getting a taste
True.
for that now, so we're just
true
gonna
true.
start going in like anytime something happens.
Yeah, but I feel like
You know
it's
what I mean?
also important to, and I feel like one thing I noticed that kind of lacked with the riots and protests was like there was really no like clear direction or call to
Mm-hmm. I
action.
feel that.
Like
Yeah.
I remember being in the protest and just being like what do we
What
do
are we fighting-
next?
well, yeah,
what
what
are
are
we
we
fighting
doing?
for? Like what's
Yeah.
the goal? What's
Right,
the
right.
objective?
Yeah.
Like what is, you know what I'm saying?
There were just so many things.
But there were
that
tensions
could've
were just
fought
high
about
in
at
general,
that
so everyone
point.
was just down with like that vibe.
yeah, everyone
of
was just mad and
just
just
be
like,
out in the streets, like you know,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I feel like, you know, if we really want to get shit done as a society, like we need like to put leaders in place. You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
But somebody gotta be brave enough to lead.
Yeah.
Somebody got to
You
be
know?
sane enough
Yeah.
to lead.
Hey, we
Sane
used to
and
just
brave,
have
yeah.
community leaders. Like it's
Yeah.
easier to lead the people you know and you grew up with. Like,
Nah,
you know
true,
what I mean?
true.
Like, we don't even have that. Like, you
Yeah,
know.
I feel like all that we could really
We got
do
shady
nowadays
mayors.
is like learn to
No.
really just lead ourselves
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And
You
just
know?
spread more love.
and spread more love.
Like, seriously.
Nah, for
That's
real.
a
Because
fact.
everything else is just so divisive now. Everybody's like, oh, I don't fuck with that. Like,
Everybody's very
You can't do
entitled to
that.
their opinions.
And that's why
Can't do
legalizing
this.
trees is a great thing. Like everyone's
I
gonna
brought
start.
a lot of people together.
It's gonna relax the country now. Finally.
Smoke a blunt, my
There
brother.
were so many dispensaries back on the East Coast when I went.
When you went, yeah?
Popping up
Yeah, everywhere.
everywhere.
How much is it for an
awesome.
eighth over there when you guys went?
Oh,
How was your
expensive.
experience?
Which
It
place
was
did
like
you go
40.
40 for an eighth?
Yeah.
Where did you go?
Crazy.
Happy Valley.
to? $40 ace?
Yeah, I mean,
Their
I
eighths
I
are
bought
like
some
35,
pre-rolls.
40.
I was like being mad cheap.
The 5-pack ones?
Yeah, and I was just
Did you see Gia there? She works there.
no.
Yeah.
I went there. I only went there once, and then I went to the one in Malden, like near Town Line. I forget what it's called though.
Me too. But yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Oh, and then I went to one in Faneuil Hall too. That
There's
was
one in
another
Faneuil
one.
Hall?
Mad dispensary, sure,
Yeah,
you
I
smoking
did go
up.
to Mad Dispensary.
I went to one there. I went to
The
one
last
there.
one
I
I
went to
bought
one
like a
there.
half, so
Oh, token
that
up.
lasted the rest of the trip.
Is there a big difference, would you say, between the weed out east and the weed out west?
Oh yeah, it's definitely elite out here compared
elite.
to out
No, it's
there.
fine.
Yeah.
Elite?
They haven't
They're
gotten
not there yet?
close yet. I mean, but I don't know. At the same time, I was smoking like the cheaper shit. But even the cheap stuff here is so good.
Have you
so.
tried like New York weed? We had a conversation with like my friends and like.
York
What do they
weed?
smoke
You
in
ever
New
had
York?
New York weed?
I don't know.
You guys ever had New York weed?
Don't they smoke like
When
sour
you
diesel or
walk up
something?
to
Dude.
people
I don't
in
know.
the
It
park,
makes you trip. Like
What do you
it's
mean?
not like good weed. It's like you're bugging on the weed.
Is
Yeah,
it might be
they're smoking
sativa.
It makes you
salvia.
paranoid.
Maybe it's sativa.
Like I've seen Anu have really bad trips over like
It's laced.
the weed in New York. Like over here, the weed in LA, it's like more safer. But I feel like Prohibition era like
Right.
New York's very strict.
We only smoke indica out here in the West Coast too.
Is that what
so-
you guys
Oh,
mostly
shit.
smoke? You guys smoke indica
yeah,
together?
definitely.
Oh wow, I
Is that
never
what
knew
we're
that
smoking
about
right
you
now?
guys.
Smoking indica the whole
Well,
time.
my shit's hybrid.
Indica
My
hybrid.
shit's hybrid. I
Indica
don't like indica. It
hybrid.
makes you feel like you're in the couch. No?
Yeah.
Right.
In the couch.
I guess
Indica.
I guess it depends on your intention. Like, what is your intention when you smoke it? Like, is
Yeah.
it to calm down from a stressful day?
For
Is
me,
it to
yeah.
yeah.
When I
Yeah.
smoke indica, I don't have control over what my intention is because I'm in the couch. Like I'm
Right.
good
Well, you
night.
are on the couch right
Yeah.
now.
I mean, we smoke it with tobacco, so it really makes a difference. Because when we smoke just straight
That's true.
weed,
Mm.
it definitely
Oh,
is more
spliffs, so you're
slumpy.
spliffing,
Yeah, we usually smoke spliffs.
Yeah,
Okay.
usually spliffing it.
Is there, what are, if any, could you guys name some major differences in like different types of joints or blunts? Like
Spliff,
East Coast
blunt.
versus West Coast.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
What?
Let's do. Yeah. Is there a difference between from like the Bay and LA?
I'll say this. I'll give you a quick Bay Area blunt history.
Ooh, let's do it.
Okay.
Bay Area blunt history with
San
you.
Francisco people in the 90s used to smoke their own blunts.
What do you mean?
The Garcia Vegas, they had their own brand they liked, which was a natural leaf blunt. But other than that, pretty much for like the 2000s till now, actually, yeah, even till now, people still smoke like regular Swisher Sweets. No flavors. They're like proud of it. Like you can taste the weed. You can't be smoking that grape Swisher, that peach Swisher, blah, blah, blah. But we did make an exception for Peach Optimos. And on the side note, Mac Dre used to rap about Backwoods. He's a Bay Area rapper, so we've known about Backwoods for a long time, but we used to only smoke them on special occasions because you have to put like a whole like 3-4 grams in it. So it's kind of like a special occasion blunt. But now people like rappers, motherfuckers out here in LA smoke them like every time. Like they're smoking the eighth every blunt out here. Like,
I'm looking at Tori because that's all.
we try
we
not
used
to smoke that big. Like
Backwoods.
I don't know.
I'm
We
good.
went through
Yeah,
a
I seen people that roll up woods. I
Backward
mean, I'm sure you've seen
phase,
people
yeah.
that
I've
like
seen. I
they
don't
roll
even
up
do
these
that.
giant
I
woods
don't.
like
Gab stuff,
just
smoke them.
24/7.
Scrabbly.
You know, that's a lifestyle
Oh my
choice,
God.
but
Oh
I'm
man.
good off that. But yeah,
And Tori, as someone who smoked a lot of weed out east, would you say there's any specific type of like blunts or like different kinds of ways of smoking that vary from out here on the west?
Mm.
Or is it pretty the
No.
same?
pretty universal.
Yeah, it's
Yeah?
pretty universal. Yeah.
What do you call a blunt when it's like burning on one side too much?
But
We say
a
running.
canoe. It's canoeing.
Canoeing,
We used to
yeah.
say it's
Canoeing?
In the
Is it
canoeing.
Bay,
running?
Yeah.
in the Bay, they say the
Canoeing.
blunt's running. Like the
They're
little things running.
It's
a little fucking-
running. I heard out west they call it side burning or down.
Sideburn.
Side burning.
I like that.
That's very straight up. Yeah, side
I like
burning.
I think I'm gonna say that.
It's like an
That's very-
actual
The blunt side
description.
burning.
It's very self-explanatory, but it's also kind of funny.
Right, it is.
Canoe.
It's just
I like canoeing. though.
Blunt culture is super big in the Bay. Like you have to have quote unquote bars when you're young. Like when you're in like junior high school rolling blunts. It's like who's got the best bars, like whose Swisher looks like the Swisher that came in the package, like perfectly round. And like people will like give you props, like you feel proud as like a young child in the bay. Like I got bars, you know what I mean? Like,
proper.
like you go home, like you sleep better at night. Like at least I got bars. Like fuck, you know what I mean? It was a source of.
I didn't eat a meal all day.
Yeah, it was like a coming of age thing. Like you got to be able to roll a blunt, and I still got friends that can't roll a blunt for shit.
Yeah,
damn.
I used to get made fun of because I used to roll swishers the opposite way.
Okay, interesting.
The
Like
person who
backwards?
taught me, they taught me to go.
You can do that.
Right.
That was like a specialty.
The person
blunt.
who taught me
Yeah.
was to go right to left. So I always roll my shit right to left now.
I think left-handed
I feel
people
like it
do
doesn't
that too.
matter though.
Yeah. I do
Does
a
it?
lot of
Whatever's
really
more
weird
comfortable for
left-handed
you.
shit.
Yeah.
Doesn't.
As long as it get me high, shit. That's
Right.
all I care about, man. I do
Burns
roll a
proper.
pretty smooth joint, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie.
It's a source of pride.
I rolled yesterday. I was hanging out with GSMBJ. I forgot what we were doing. He gave me a Dutch. Yo, in high school, Dutches were the things, bro.
Dutchies.
Like, and I heard they're so bad for you.
Probably.
He gave me a Dutch.
Source
Yeah,
wishers.
that shit took me back.
The white owls.
That shit took
I love
me
that shit.
back. I rolled that shit. I was flexing on him. I was like, bro, look at this shit, bro. Like, you could never roll nothing like this, bro.
Those
And
make
you're
me
like,
so
Roll.
sick
I
now.
roll pre-rolls.
I can't smoke backwards.
See
I can't
this?
smoke
Healing
swishers.
with
I can't smoke
divinity.com,
white
pre-roll,
owls, rellos,
get 2
nothing.
king pre-rolls
Rellos.
for $10. And healing with divinity.com.
And
Oh,
they're
man.
really good.
That's
I
a
like that
beautiful-
plugin. I like
Even
that
have to
beautiful
fine
plugin.
print the
tea.
little. At the
Right? With like a little sound effect.
Tea, I need some
conscious of the
CMOS.
You want some CMOS?
I forgot to tell you to bring me some.
I
I
wanna
have a
try
CMOS
it.
sale right now.
CMOS.
$5-10 off all CMOSs, all flavors.
HealingWithDivinity.com.
I need some of that.
Okay, shorty plugging in, and you got the
Especially
hair. What's up with the hair? Let's tell people about the hair you got
I love
going.
this for me. So growing up, my mom never did anything different with her hair. She never dyed it. She never cut it really. Like she just kept it like the same color. Like would dye her bangs once every 3 years and like just or like and hate it and just keep her for like a week. So for me, I didn't grow up as like a young girl seeing like different hairstyles growing up. So like I always just like was plain. So I feel like as I got older and wanted to explore more, express myself, I got more confident with it. I feel like it was just a confidence thing. So yeah, I was wanting to shave my eyebrows, but I was too pussy to shave them because I'm like, I kind of like the fur on my face. So I was like, I need to try something that I feel like fits my vibe more. I'm very like spiritual and like, I don't know. I'm just very, I want to be more free. So I feel like I was like, this is a way I can like express myself, but like in a subtle way. Like I have to just like wear my hair up to see it. Like I was like in the whole vibe in it. And I'm like proud of myself.
Love it.
Anu did it. He wants those props in.
I did, didn't I? Damn, and I did a good job too. Let's see the side. Show on the side. You know I'm zooming in. It's gonna be
BKO
a
Barbershop.
You know I'm
BKO
zooming in.
Barbershop coming
Opening next month.
next month. Tell your friends about me. You heard me?
Now it's time for Anu to change up his look a little bit. He's been trying to do something.
T, what do you want me to do? You want me to dye my beard?
Yeah. Or like
T thinks I should dye my beard.
What color?
Green.
Whoa.
No.
Whoa. What about
Just
blonde?
came out.
What about
I
blonde?
could see that.
Blonde?
Yeah,
Okay.
but it would have to be like the whole beard,
Are you gonna do the mustache
mustache.
too?
It have to be.
You'd have to do the mustache. You could
Yeah.
not rock just a blonde beard and a
I know, right?
brunette mustache.
I'm gonna
You'll
have
Could.
a-
You probably
I mean,
get pulled
could.
over like 50
totally
times.
could.
in
I
a
could.
day
You
with
could.
that.
Maybe.
You
See what
could
it looks
actually.
see what it looks like. Yeah. No, that's true. I might. See, y'all got me looking at myself. I'm like trying to picture
I could
myself
see
with it
it.
on. Oh man.
You got to keep up with that, though.
Yeah, like in what way?
I mean, does your face hair like grow fast?
Hair grows.
Yeah,
Eyebrows
kinda.
go fast.
You gotta do your
It's
roots.
just like the same
Oh,
thing
so
with
like
your
the
eyebrows,
roots.
you know, like every week
Whatever.
or 2 weeks.
Is that a thing to
Redone.
touch up?
You know
beard
what that
roots?
really
You just do
means?
the
That
whole
means
thing.
Tiara has to learn how to do it, so I can always
On your
touch it up for
face?
Anu.
Yeah.
He's not gonna do it himself.
No,
Yeah,
we
right.
probably,
No, that's a fact.
probably just
Anu
do
had
the whole
dreads.
thing.
Anu's gonna
Right?
insert a picture of him having
How do you
dreads
get to the
here
root of a beard?
as a real.
Tiny
And I'm the one
brush.
that put the dreads in Anu.
A teeny tiny little brush.
I'm crying. Oh man. So LA, what it's like to live in LA? Let's see.
Expansive.
What? How should we like
Expensive.
unlayer this
Talk
onion?
about the
All right, let's start with the
Expenses.
layers. Yeah, all right,
Okay,
let's start with
bet.
that because I went to the grocery store the other day and I saw a little tub of hummus. It was $8. That's more than gas in some parts of LA, so that doesn't make any sense to me. They're chickpeas. That doesn't make sense.
Mashed
can't
chickpeas.
do
your own,
that.
Kayla.
You have to
You're
make
right.
your own. No cap.
You probably make some.
Would you tell
I just think
people?
it's not fair.
Would you guys tell people to come to LA 2023?
No.
Hell, motherfucking yeah, man. I mean, it depends. It depends on the intention. If you're coming to LA just to live in nice weather and like
You better have
be around
bank.
palm trees,
Yeah, that part.
just
Yeah.
go to Florida. Just go to Florida.
Just go to Florida
Just
for
go
real.
to Florida. But if you like are trying to do something creative, artistic, you want to be in the arts, music, movies, whatever it may be, come to LA.
You gotta push yourself if you come to LA.
100%.
Yeah, because it's not just gonna like be
Yeah.
here waiting for you. You gotta
No.
find that shit.
LA will break you down. LA will show you sides of yourself that you didn't know existed.
LA
Yeah.
will chew you up
Yup.
and spit you out.
You have
Yeah.
to be a strong person to live out here.
Isn't
It's
it?
not
You know
for
what
the
I was
weak.
thinking about earlier? It's crazy how like most people move here with no like substantial amount of friends. Like
Yeah.
everybody here is like kind of alone in a sense, except if you're from here, obviously. But
I had no
that's the
friends when I
exception.
moved here.
isn't that crazy? A whole city full of people that like
No,
don't
no,
have
no.
friends that
Nobody
much.
knows
Like,
All
nobody.
my friends
that's
are in this
crazy.
room.
Mhm.
Y'all are all
Yeah.
from my hometown.
But you get to like be a
funny,
different
though.
person and shit. So like everyone out here is like gets a fresh start in a way.
Yeah,
Kinda weird.
fresh start. You just gotta
Yeah.
make sure you're out here meeting people, man. To anyone who may be watching this who's thinking of moving to LA, you know, make sure you're going out every single. That's what we did when we first came here. We was going to the fattest mansion parties. We was talking to people. We was meeting people.
Connect,
Still to this day, connect. Take advantage
The
of all
networking
your
is
resources.
the networking is elite in LA.
Yeah, it really
like
is. Really.
Hey, what?
you could run into like literally anybody
Yeah.
and like your life
Yeah.
could change overnight business wise. Like in
And
LA.
It's the
Tori.
culture. It's the culture to network in LA. Like in LA, like it's normal to just be like, oh hey, da da da, like bring a random conversation, exchange social medias. Like
Right.
it's the culture. People want
Right.
to do it. So
It's hit or miss too, Tori. Do you remember that time that we were at Monty's
Oh yeah.
and you had stepped in shit and you were like
Well,
pissed
damn.
about it. You were like, I stepped in shit.
Was it
You
dog
were trying
shit
to
or
get the
human
dog
shit?
It was good question. I don't actually know.
So your
Do you know?
downside of LA is stepping in poop.
So no, that's not the
I
point.
stepped in
The
human
point
poop.
is,
I
do
will
you
tell that
remember who
story.
we
It's
saw
terrible.
on the street
you
that day?
saw.
Well, what's
you,
didn't-
I
you
didn't see
didn't
shit.
see her?
She said, I
Oh
ain't
my
see
god, I
shit.
made
didn't
eye
see
contact
her.
with her.
What?
I made eye contact with
homeless person?
Solange.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was like,
After I
I
stepped
just my
in
heart
shit.
skipped a beat. And Tori was
Sorry.
next to me, and she's like talking about this shit. And I was like, "What? Sorry, I didn't hear you. That was Solange. They just ran a
Oh,
red
shit.
light. Like they were
Love
running the
that.
stop sign or the red light that's right at Monty's. But
Wow.
yeah, I don't know. You just run into. You never know who you're.
No,
gonna
yeah.
see,
You
like, what
never
you're gonna
We had,
know.
Ramen
Never.
and Steve Aoki was like at the table right next to us eating ramen, and nobody else was in the fucking restaurant. That's like a random.
Which restaurant?
Random
Where were you?
celebrity
running.
interaction.
For real.
To Pumpkin
Me-
Patch and seeing Drake Bell.
Yeah, we went to a pumpkin patch scene.
Bell.
Drake Bell.
That was the craziest when you guys first moved here too.
Yeah, I was like
Literally.
looking, like we're looking at these. T's looking at the pumpkin. She's so excited, like
I love
pumpkins.
pumpkins.
Oh,
So
and
let-
I'm
oh,
looking
shit, my
around.
fault.
I'm like, hold up, is that Drake Bell? That's Drake Bell. I told you, he was like, yeah, that's Drake Bell.
LA's hella weird like that. Like,
Weird
it's
at a
hella
pumpkin
weird.
patch. Like,
I was
what?
at
Mad
a,
weird.
you guys ever seen The Sixth Sense?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I seen
when
one
I was
of
at the comedy store, I seen the kid from The Sixth Sense right next to me just chilling. I'm like, what the fuck? But he was grown. He wasn't
Like
the kid
I See Dead
anymore.
People guy?
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
he wasn't.
wow.
He was seeing funny people.
Is that
It
the
was
same? He's
different.
like red rum,
What happened?
red rum.
No, it's different.
That's a different movie.
Make it a
Yeah.
real
That's red
Kayla
rum,
saying
isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah. That's a different movie.
But like anyway, LA's crazy. Like especially if you put yourself in the right place, like you will literally meet all kinds of people. Like
Yeah,
you know,
put
it's
yourself in the
crazy.
right place with the right intentions,
Not even
in the right
famous.
mind state.
Just
Yeah.
creative people, like-minded creatives, you know?
Yeah, nah, 100%. LA's filled with so many amazing creatives, and it's just like you just gotta like just get in where you fit in, bro. You know what I'm saying?
vibe
Another
attracts your
interaction
tribe.
before I pass the mic to you. I think you were there with me. We was in a whip, and I think it was Raven Simone.
Oh my god.
She was in like a Tesla next to us
Hella random
driving.
shit.
That's
shit.
so
I
Raven.
loved that so Raven.
I love it.
On our tour of LA, like when we first moved out here, we seen Big Sean and like in Niagara.
You know what? When I first moved out here, the first job I had was on the Venice Boardwalk, and the bike path. You know, it's like it's not large, but it's wide. It's not super wide though. I was crossing the bike path and I wasn't paying attention, and the corner that I was on was like the corner of the bike path, so the bikes were coming around the corner, and they obviously weren't seeing me or anticipating me like crossing the boardwalk, and a bike missed me by like, I want to say half an inch. I almost lost my life that day. Like I almost got T-boned by a bike. And I got to the other side of the boardwalk, and my coworker Luke was standing on the other side watching the whole thing go down, and he was dumbfounded. He was like, "Do you know who that was?" And I was like, "No, I didn't catch that. I was just trying to make it in one piece." And he was like, "That was Floyd Mayweather."
What the
Floyd Mayweather almost ran me over with his bike.
Damn, you could have made hella money.
I know, and he had the backpack on. You know he was strapped up with cash on him.
Why
He
didn't
always
you say
said he
Probably would
something? I
have just thrown the
jumped in
suitcase
front
at
of
you
him.
and just been like, all
Right,
right,
yeah.
like, back on his bike.
Yeah.
I want to also, I feel like, mention a part of LA. People want to move out here and they don't know how to move out here, like physically. So
It's not easy.
yeah, we can go down and say like how we managed to even move out here, like your car, like what did you do? I
You
feel
might
like
as well leave all your clothes at home because people got too much drip out here. You're gonna have to restart.
Juice's advice is to start your whole wardrobe over.
If you're from the Bay Area, leave all your tall tees at home. Leave all your fucking pink dolphin at home. Like it ain't gonna do you no good.
Come down and see Drew and Tori.
I'm dead.
I like me and Anu told each other that we would save up 10K. Once we had like 9.5, I like worked really hard for like 3 months, saved up like 9K. I called like a towing company to move my car for $1,000. It was like 2,000 because we moved 2 cars. We packed most of our stuff in both of our cars, took a plane and moved out here. We just like took whatever we could fit inside of our cars and then took that move. So that's how we came out here. We didn't drive. Some people drove. I think Kayla drove.
No, I flew. Well, I flew when I moved out here, but when Gab moved out here in 2020, we drove from Boston to LA.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, but I had already
Was
been
it
out here for a
expensive to do
year.
that? Because like it was cheap to get the ticket. It was like $250 one way, or like.
I mean, it wasn't cheap. We stopped in multiple places for reasons. You know, we wanted to like see the country. We weren't just gonna drive through it, not see it.
How long it took you?
It took us 5 days.
5 days.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. We stopped overnight every night and drove through the day. And
Would
stopped
you
in
recommend
different
people to
places.
do that?
Oh
wanna
my
move
god,
out here?
it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Okay.
it was so much fun. We had the best time. I drove with the. Can I say this?
Say whatever you
I
feel
drove with an
comfortable.
expired license the whole way. We were just praying that we didn't get pulled over. I
And you
was praying
didn't.
that we didn't get pulled over. We didn't get pulled over once. I'm so
I love
surprised.
that. Did you pack all Gab stuff in her car?
All Gab stuff, and then I had my stuff. I had actually flown in from. I was out of town. I was out of LA pretty much the entire month of December because we had gone home for Christmas. Tatiana and I had both gone home for Christmas. I was in London. I flew from London to Boston. Tatiana met us from LA to Boston. Gab was already in Boston. She had all of her shit packed. We packed all 3 of our everything. Gab's belongings, everything she owned. She had a Toyota Camry. Silver Toyota Camry with a black front bumper.
Yeah.
That she had replaced that morning, by the way. She had replaced the bumper that morning, and it was like this low to the ground because there was so much stuff in it.
Wow.
It was so packed to the brim. I mean, you could barely move in the car.
You didn't sleep in the
Driving
car? You
across
slept in motels?
country.
You didn't sleep in the car?
We slept in motels. Luckily, Gab did all of that. She planned everything. So she
Wow.
planned all the hotels, and she did all the...
Really?
Yeah. We
Aw.
sat down and we mapped it out. She booked all the hotels and where we were going to stop. We made plans on where we were going to stop. Like, we wanted to stop in Louisville. Louisville was really cool.
Where's Louisville? What is
Kentucky.
Kentucky, Louisville.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Louisville, Kentucky. We stopped in Pittsburgh, Ohio, and did the whole like Frick Park Market, Blue Slide Park, and Ode to Mac Miller. And on our way out of Blue Slide Park, we were like leaving. That's when they announced that. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, that's right when they announced that the family was gonna release an album, and that's like right before Circles came out. And they had dropped one of the singles from Circles, so it was like really special because we were leaving Frick Park Market and Blue Slide Park,
Yeah,
and
you get to like feel the energy of that
Yeah.
time really in it.
It was like a little
beautiful.
gift. Mac was like, "Thanks for going to pay me a visit." You
That's
know,
so cute.
it was really cool. We stopped in Nashville, Tennessee. That was cool. We stopped in other random places like Oklahoma City. What an interesting city. Not really much out there.
No, nothing in Oklahoma,
I
like
don't plan on
cows and
going.
like
out there,
grass, no farm.
No. And then we did Flagstaff, Arizona. Really cool place.
That's
like
fire.
small
You guys
town
like
vibes.
mapped it and made it a whole thing.
Yeah. And then we got back to LA and we went straight to Taco Bell before we even went home. We went straight to Taco Bell.
Wow.
We sat in
What'd you
line
get?
for like an hour. We ordered, Tatiana and I don't eat meat, so we
Okay.
ordered spicy potato tacos.
Those are fire.
Fire.
Really? I didn't even know they had
Yeah.
non-vegan options at Taco Bell.
Well, they just have potatoes and you can sub the meat for the potatoes, you know?
Oh.
They can just toss
Can
them
do
in there. I don't
bean-
know. But we waited for
bean
like 45
crunch
minutes and we
wraps.
got to the window and they were like, yeah, so the spicy potato tacos and also this and that, we're not going to have those.
That's a bummer.
So,
Welcome to LA.
yeah,
Wow.
welcome to LA.
Wow.
Already off to a great start for Gab, at least. And then right after Gab moved here, that was when COVID hit. So, yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
Coming down here during the pandemic was insane.
So speaking of hard times in LA,
Uh-oh.
I would love to tap into.
Oh.
You like how I'm like doing my transitions to like the
I love
different.
it, yeah.
They blending in pretty good, right?
Perfectly.
Thank you, man. So I wanted to touch on everyone's. How could you say? What would you guys say was a hard time that you endured in LA, and how did you overcome it?
Oh my God, which one? Which time?
Any time from your
Big one.
duration. Whoever wants to go first. You want to go first, Kayla?
Shit, yeah, okay. I'll go
Okay.
first. The hard and
A
I don't know.
hard time living in LA, and how did you overcome it?
a hard time living in LA. Honestly, I want to say the pandemic. The pandemic was tough. There was not a lot happening. Nothing was really open.
A lot of people
It
went
was a lot of people went home, lost a lot of fallen soldiers, you know. But it was also just kind of like, you know, the reason that I think we all came here is because we're creative and we want to network and we want to branch out and grow and evolve and like do that with people and find a community that we can grow within. And that was really hard to do during COVID. It was tough. And I think that, I mean, even my roommates and I, there were days where we wouldn't even speak to each other. I wouldn't see Tatiana for 3 days. She was home. I was home. We were both home, you know? It just, it was kind of like a state of depression, like a really interesting, like social anxiety state of depression. And all of the fear that was induced in the media and just like the general hysteria, it was chaos and it was overwhelming and it was hard. And on top of that, I mean, jobs were hard to find. They were hard to keep too. Things were closing down. I mean, one of the first things that happened to me when COVID hit was I lost my job. I worked through the summer and I lost my job. So that was really tough. I had to kind of scramble to find work because
Having no
rent
job
was
in LA
due.
is not a great
Right.
place to
That
be.
shit's not a good look.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
shit's expensive. Doesn't matter which way you look at it. Groceries, gas, DoorDash, doesn't matter. Whichever way you do it, it's expensive. I walk outside, I blink, and I spend $60. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Nah,
That's true.
I go outside and take a
I
deep
feel
breath.
it.
Yeah,
20
literally,
bucks
20
is gone
bucks.
from my wallet that I just
Yeah.
put
It
there.
cost you.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So how did you endure? What was the secret sauce?
The secret sauce was just staying strong, like just taking care, self-care, mentally, physically, movement, and just kind of like keeping the faith that things are going to change and remembering that, you know, even when we don't think that we are exactly where we are, we are. And
Ooh,
I
say
think
that one more time. Say that one more time, please.
even if we don't think that we are exactly where we are, we are.
Ooh.
And we could think about it in a way like, you know, why are we alive? Like, why did this happen to us? Like, never did any of us think that we were going to live through a fucking global pandemic. You know what I mean? It was
That's
scary.
intense,
It was really scary. But we did. And there's another perspective to that. I think if we didn't have that time, our generation wouldn't have evolved mentally and emotionally. I think we question more than other generations. We had a lot of time to ourselves. We had a lot of exposure to things. I mean, we have social media. It was different. We saw a lot. So I don't know. I would say endurance was, you know, finding people, finding support, protecting your own energy, and just trying to tread on and not let the societal chaos overwhelm you on top of all of the personal things that overwhelm you, like the finances. And
anybody that made it through LA in the pandemic is a straight beast, for real.
For real.
Like, you got to do the
small
pandemic.
businesses and businesses in general.
Literally anybody, but that too.
Yeah.
Like,
I have to also say, like, support from my parents was huge. My parents really supported me. I mean, like, financially, mentally, physically, emotionally, like, they really supported me. So I think it was really important to, if you don't have a support group like that too, you know, just close people, people who love you.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Thanks for sharing. I definitely think, like, you definitely said something that's going to leave an impression on a bunch of people. It was very insightful.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing that, for real.
Thanks. You're welcome.
Oh, man, who wants to go next? A tough time in LA, and how did they overcome?
Damn, I can't even think of like one tough time, because I don't know. I feel like it's always pretty tough. Like,
That's the
I'm
truth.
still trying to find balance.
Yo, that's so, I'm trying to think of a time, and like I'm like, it's like
right now,
right now. But you just have to stay positive and like the tough, you know.
Exactly. Like, I feel like every day is like tough. Like, you gotta hustle. You gotta like have your balance out here, which can be tough to like stick to. Either a routine or I don't know, like there's just so many things you can do, and sometimes you can get caught up and then get out of your balance, or I don't know.
Easy here.
It's just like, especially like if you work for yourself too, and like you're setting your own schedule for yourself, and then you're like, oh well, I could take this day off, and then like living out here it's hard to like even just chill, because you're like, oh well, I could do this right now instead of just chilling, and there's this many things to do, and everybody's like going and like hustling, and like I need to be on that too. And then like I don't know, sometimes getting caught up in that, and then like basically my point is I'm still trying to find balance, and that's like the tough part of moving, maybe just moving out of like even living with my mom, you know, like I've only not lived with my mom for 2 years, like almost 3 years now, but you know, moving across the country on top of that, and like being in a whole new place, like you were saying, like, you know, having people to support you, and like having you guys all out here, like meeting Drew out here, like, you know, that's, if I didn't have you guys, I'm sure I wouldn't be out here at this point, you know, still, because you need that, you need support, you need like real humans around you, like just FaceTime isn't enough, you know, like you need like love around you, physical love.
Yeah, it's true.
Friendships, conversations, and like going to markets out here, selling out there has made me like feel a more sense of community too out here. So it's like always like tough, as in a way of like doing new things constantly, like not everybody does that, you know. Some people have been doing the same shit for like 50 years, and like that's fine for them, like it's all good, but like some people want to like evolve, and it takes like mental toughness and like physical toughness to do that, because you have to like constantly be doing and like also being, you know. There's like gotta be that balance of doing and being. And I guess like that would be the tough thing, is just making sure you're tough too, and knowing that like you can do whatever you put your mind to. You just gotta like fucking do it. Like get out there and actually do it. Don't just like say it.
That part.
And you know, I'm still working on doing more as well, you know. Lots of ideas, but little actions and like goals are good to have for yourself, and like always progressing, and
Like short-term goals?
yeah, like short-term goals, and just making sure that you're growing, and yeah, that's what life's about.
Wow,
Love.
thanks for sharing, Tori. For real.
Yeah, of course.
That was deep.
Just
Love
like
that.
flowed through me real quick.
You channel that real quick.
Channel
a little
that
something for
real
the
quick.
people. Oh
Needs
man.
to hear that.
Gonna light up TT's joint over here. TT's
HealingWithDivinity.com.
pre-rolls.
Good
Healing
sales
with
out now.
Divinity.
Is there lavender in that?
There's lavender in there.
This is a lavender. What else is in here? Tea rose.
Egyptian blue lotus.
Egyptian blue lotus.
Mug-
Hybrid kush,
mugwort?
marigold.
What's the the marigolds, the arge.
Yes.
Y'all gonna love him, man. I'm trying to tell y'all,
Delicious.
HealingWithDivinity.com, man. Stop playing, man. Go get right, man. Stop playing.
Go get that.
Quick little promo. But man, so I thought of my moment. The hardest moment for me in LA thus far
Hardest moment.
would have to be when I got my first job in LA a couple years ago at Amazon.
My
That's how you know that shit fucked up.
That's
Everybody else
right.
like,
Once you hear Amazon, anything, you're like, oof.
Yo, Amazon was,
Amazon.
man, just thinking of like the type of person that I was when I was working that job to where I am now, it's like two completely different people. Like, man, like that version of me there was just like, and I knew exactly what I was doing to myself. Like, I was telling myself I had to be in a situation that completely didn't fulfill me or make me happy. It was actually draining me of energy, because for some reason in my mind, I guess I had forgotten the fact that our entire reality is a reflection of our perspective of ourselves and the world around us. And I was like imprisoning my own thoughts, and like I was like encapsulating my own power, like limiting myself by telling myself I have to be here, I have to do this. Without this, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back home if I don't have this. And it eventually reached a boiling point where like, man, like I had some depressing days there, bro. Like just working by myself in a big ass van, long ass days. I'm going in like 8 in the morning. I'm not coming back till like 11, 10 at night. T's picking me up on some days after work. I just don't want to talk. I'm like in a terrible mood. It had a big impact on my relationship. It was just it was terrible. It was like so hard. It was a very low point, and like I was just scared, bro. I was just scared, like, man, like if I'm not making this money, like I'm not gonna be able to stay out here. Like I'm not gonna be able to afford to live. And like the money I was making there wasn't even enough. So I'm working a job that I hate to not even make enough to fucking survive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then one day it just reached a point, and I don't know, something like clicked in my head. And like I remember I had a couple conversations with you, Tori, and like talking about Amazon and how it sucked, and just getting everyone's input. And one day I just reached a boiling point where I'm like, you know what, like I'm worth more than this, bro. Like I'm worth more than this. This isn't serving me. This isn't fulfilling me. This is draining me of my energy. It's making me depressed. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen if I leave. I don't have a plan B, or I don't have no other job lined up. All I know is that in rare moments in life when my back's against the wall, I choose to bet on myself. And it's like I tell myself, like, I'm gonna bet on myself. I don't know how this is gonna work out, what I'm gonna do, but I always notice when I bet on myself in hard times, it always works out for me. So I just chose to.
Anu has manifested money in like so. I'm sorry to cut you off. In so many beautiful ways. Like
We brought your money tree, Anu.
My money tree.
what's your money tree's name?
I don't know. I don't know. I'll think about it. We'll come up with something.
Ask it and it'll tell you.
Yeah,
its
should we
name.
have him say a word?
Ask it. Ask the money tree its
There you go.
name in your
It
head.
said what I had to say. It said its
and
name.
then look at it and it will repeat it in your head to you.
Okay.
Try it.
Try it.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Ask it what's your name in your head, and it's gonna say its name to you.
But direct your energy towards that. Don't. You're fucking around.
I don't know. I got a couple names.
What'd he say?
Josh.
Okay.
And then Bob.
Drake and Josh.
Oh shit.
Josh Bob.
His name is Josh Bob.
Oh,
His
Josh
name's
Bob.
Bob.
Josh
That just
Bob.
flew right out of your
Hey,
mouth.
Josh
Yeah,
Bob.
I don't know about Josh Bob.
His name's Josh Bob.
This is my money tree, Josh Bob.
Actually got a ring to it.
Josh Bob.
I like that.
It might just be really
It's
high.
not a
but-
Josh tree,
Bob?
It's a Josh Bob.
It's a Josh Bob tree. I'm gonna
Josh
tell people
Bob
that.
Josh Bob.
It's
energy.
my Josh Bob tree. What's a Josh Bob tree? Well, I was
his name.
having a podcast and we were talking.
You've
I
got
just
to
named it
repot
Josh
Josh Bob.
Thank you, Josh Bob. But yeah, just learning that you have me learning that I had a lot more control over my reality than I thought I did, and just understanding like we live in a universe where like whatever you say becomes true. So at the time I was telling myself I can't do it. I have to stay here. Just like manifesting me sticking in that situation. So what helped me in my dark time was just understanding like there's going to come times in your life where you have to choose to put your happiness first, even if you don't know what the outcome is.
I'm learning that now.
Fuck
It takes a
your
lot of
fear.
faith.
Yeah, I've learned that
And
shit
it
too.
takes a lot of courage because
Mhm.
fear keeps us from doing those things,
Nah, that part. And what does fear stand for? False evidence appearing real. Fear.
Is that really what it stands for?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
False evidence appearing real, because fear is not real. It's an illusion. We give it power. The things we fear are things that we give power. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's most of the time it's due to a lack of knowledge. We fear what we don't understand as human beings.
Yes. And we fear what we don't know and what we can't control as well.
Yeah, and what we can't control. Because it's hard to be vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to be vulnerable to your spouse, your significant other. And it's very hard to be vulnerable to the universe.
This is my favorite conversation, vulnerability. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I love it because we think we are at a really young age too. I feel like we are deeply, deeply conditioned by society that vulnerability is a weakness. It's a threat.
It's the most strength.
Especially men. Especially
100%.
men. Men are so afraid to share their feelings or just to like really show who they are and their real emotions because they're taught they're like, no, we need to be the strong ones. We need to be the courageous ones. We need to take care of the family, bring home the bread. Like, I don't know. It's just
It's hard for them to.
No, I feel you on that. 100%.
yeah, and I feel like our generation we're really starting to question that, starting to change those things.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
yeah.
Nah, real shit. And I feel like I agree with that 100%. Like, I grew up in a household where, like, I never learned how to, like, address my emotions and, like, even speak on them. Like, I never seen that in my household growing up.
It's crazy
Yeah,
too
me
because
neither.
we don't show vulnerability because we think that we're protecting ourselves that way.
Like, we're
When
just
in
hurting ourselves.
reality, the honesty is what is the ultimate protection. It's like your biggest superpower is your vulnerability because if you're being honest, then what's the worst that can happen? You're being honest.
Yeah.
So speak your truth to set you
I mean,
Yes,
I grew up in a household where we overly spoke our emotions. My mom would always tell me, like, really help me feel vulnerable. She said, I'll never get mad as long as you tell me the truth. And since then, like, we've always really had that. I always had that feeling with her. It was like, I could tell Ma anything. Ma will, like, won't judge. So, like, something I think I would tell my kids is, like, I will never be mad as long as you tell me the truth.
That's a big one.
That's
I feel like I can go off on a tangent on that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I grew up in a household where it's like, I was kind of just scared to tell the truth.
Me too.
Because
Yep.
I told the truth in my early years, and I feel like it got me in trouble. And like
Grounded. Every
even
time.
like grounded,
Phone
or like
gone. Friends
even like
gone.
telling my parents like my dreams and my passions of mine, and it's just like I didn't really get positive responses because my parents they're from Haiti. It's kind of a third world country. You know what I'm saying, so all they have in Haiti is just like the only way out is education, school. But like in America, man, it's a first world country. You can do whatever the fuck you want and be hugely successful than people that go to school or for whatever the fuck they're going for. So like there's a disconnect because they don't really understand that. They just understand education, so they always push for education. And like you grow up and you understand like it's out of love. You know what I'm saying, they love you, so they want the best for you. But I feel like I'm just now reaching a point where like I call my dad every once in a while, and he's like, "Hey, how's the music thing going?" Like he'll ask, and I'm like, "Oh shit!"
But you just told your parents like what,
I want
a
to tell
year
the story
ago,
how
or
we told his parents. Like, a big thing that me and Anu have really had to work on in our relationship was he would get nervous sometimes. I would say things, and he would be like, "I don't know if I want to talk about that right now, but you mentioned it," and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I thought it was okay to talk about or something." So like that's something that I had to like really learn in this relationship. So I really wanted him to share his music with his parents. So I was like, listen, like you have songs that don't have swears now. You're more involved in your music. Can we talk to your parents? Can I play them a song? And he was like, yeah. He was like, go ahead. So I just like played them. I think I asked you what song you wanted to play, no? Or did I just play something?
I don't know.
Yeah, do you remember what song it was?
I know she played This Feels Like Love. She played This Feels Like Love.
Oh,
this unreleased song that's dropping on my upcoming Take I Love You Too.
It's my song. I love that song. It's my favorite song ever. It's my number one song.
I Love You Too, coming soon. Stay tuned for that. So you played that for them?
And then I played Honey's music video that he made for you.
Which was
I
so
feel
cool.
so fly right now.
I love that video.
And they just like liked it, and like I just feel like they really want Kev to open up to them, but they don't know how to open up themselves. But they want that connection with him a lot.
Yeah.
Like they crave the connection with Kev, but they just don't know how to do it. And like I just wish that they had more than one child, because they only had Kev, and like Kev is like working on trauma himself, so he doesn't always think like, let me just like talk to my parents. OD, you're better at it now, but
yeah, but you guys are getting closer, and you're opening up more about what you're doing, and like, you know, it's okay that you're taking your time with that, you know, like at the end of the day, like the way you grew up is why you're like that now, and like you're opening up more and more, and like you can build a better relationship, a closer one now, like if you want that, you know.
I do, yeah.
So that's beautiful.
I'll call your parents after this.
Yeah, they're probably sleeping like a motherfucker, but I call them tomorrow for sure. I don't know if I'm gonna talk
like
about
if
the
you really
podcast
think
yet.
about it, like if you really think about it deeply, you've shown a parts of yourself to your parents that they had no choice but to accept from you. So literally, and like look at their reactions from that. So you should like even though they had reactions to you having a face tattoo, you having a nose ring, blah blah blah. Like I feel like they still accept and love you, and like you can always try to remember that.
And they're gonna try their best.
Yeah, no, that's very true. That's very true. When I got my face tattoo, it was whew. My mom, I had to call my mom a week before I went to go see her to let her know I had a face tattoo.
Oh my
just
God.
to like get the energy out there. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like I'll never forget where I was. I was at the gym in Fall River. And I called her. I don't know why I wanted to call her right then. I'm working out. I'm like, I gotta call my mom, man. I gotta let her know. Fuck. So I call her, I let her know. I'm like, hey mom, how you doing? She said, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing good. I'm excited to see you in a week. I just want to let you know I got a face tattoo. She's like, stop playing. Come on. I'm like, nah, I got a face tattoo. She's like, you got a face tattoo for real? I'm like, yeah. She's like, why would you do that? I'm like, because I wanted one. She's like, you're going to give me a heart attack. I gotta go.
Oh.
And
His mom has heart problems.
A whole week passed by, and then I went to go visit her with T and her sister, Jaylene. And T went in, she gave T a hug. Jaylene went in, she gave Jaylene a hug. I went in last, and she just gave me a certain look. Just rubbed me the wrong way. And mind you, she was living in Connecticut at the time. I'm living in Fall River. That's like a 3-hour drive.
Yeah.
So I'm upstairs in my room, pacing back and forth. I'm like, nah, I ain't like that look. Nah, I drove 3 hours to come here. She gonna look at me like this. This some bullshit. So I went downstairs. I hollered at her, and she didn't agree. But once I told her that, like, yo, mom, look, like, I'm happy. You know, once she heard those words, I'm happy. Like, it was like a weight lifted off her shoulders. She's like, all right, if you're happy, like, whatever it is, it is. So it was cool to see that.
Yeah,
you know?
sometimes there just needs to be more of a conversation about it, you know, like, because when you're just hiding things and being closed off about things, then, and they don't understand it, then they're not going to understand it, and they're just going to hate. But like with for example, my grandmother, my grandparents hate tattoos, like smoking, all that. I showed them my tattoos, my piercings. They'll like maybe like be like, oh, what is that? And then like they don't say shit. Like, what are you gonna say? Like, you fucking are gonna disown me? Like, you know? And then like even with this tattoo, my grandmother again. When I just saw her, she's like, "That's permanent." She already saw it like 2 times.
She's asking every time.
That's permanent. Like, yeah, I'm not getting this redone every fucking week.
Your Nana?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
And I
so
even
cute.
smoked weed on FaceTime with her, and I'm just like, she's like, "Oh, what is that?" And I'm like, "It's weed."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, like, why are you smoking or whatever?" And
You're
I'm
such a
just
good
like,
kid.
it relaxes
Like, what can I
me.
say?
I'm like,
Like-
Nana, it relaxes me. It's really good for me. Like, I can get you some edibles if you want to try some. Like,
Did you?
I like that.
no, I
You
didn't.
should have.
I don't
What can she
know.
really say? You're a good kid. Like, you don't really do drugs. Like, they
Yeah.
consider that a drug, but like, you don't do like heavy ass drugs. Like, you
Exactly.
My
support
poor
yourself. You're a
father,
good
dude.
heart. Like, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
I put
Yeah.
my father through hell.
Yeah?
My dad's gonna, my dad's hip. My dad's a young dad. He's gonna watch this tomorrow, and he's gonna be like, they're all talking about these stories. I didn't tell my dad about one fucking tattoo I ever got. Not one.
No,
Not one. I
I
will never forget. I didn't plan. My first tattoo wasn't planned. Believe it or not. Like, I think almost, like, I've got 40 now, 40, maybe 42, somewhere around there. But they're all small-ish, kind of.
I love you.
I love you.
I'll never
really
forget my
pretty
first
tattoos.
tattoo. My roommate, my college roommate, I was at the library studying like a good college student. My
Hey.
roommate texted me and was like, "I'm gonna go get a tattoo. Do you want to come?" And I was like, "All right." So we go to the place, and I get the tattoo, and I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell not a soul. And I got back to my dorm room, and I had a text from my dad, and my dad was like, "Did you get a tattoo?" And I was like, "How the fuck did he know that?" I still to this day don't know how he found out or who told him, but
What was it?
I never told him, and he always knew. When I got my
show us.
first neck tattoo, he saw it in the car because I accidentally just went like this, not thinking about it, and I had tried so hard to keep this from him. I had gone like 4 months. The Connect one,
Oh.
and he was in the driver's seat. He was driving, and I just had my hair like this, and he said Is that a neck tattoo? And I was like, oh, yeah, it's small though. Like, I did it small, and he literally went, and he rolled the window down, and he stuck his head out, and he was like,
Oh my god.
hyperventilating out the car window. He didn't talk to me for like an hour,
Wow.
and then he kind of like warmed up to it. But I mean, Dad, you're covered in tattoos, man. You know, like, what did you expect, brother?
girl, not this little
What did you
girl.
expect? You raised me.
Yeah.
I'm half of you. What did you think was gonna happen?
I feel like my family, like when we visit each other, we just get tattoos. Like, it's just been a thing in my family. Like, we just get tattoos together. Like, we bond. It's like, it's just something that we just did. My mom always been covered, so I was like, I like have a goal to be covered, like eventually before I die. But like, it's gonna be a nice slow process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah. You gotta let the process evolve. You know,
Definitely.
you can't take up all the space and then come up with something when you're 55 and be like, oh fuck, I don't even remember.
I know, like towards the end, I definitely want to get like an eye tattooed to my forehead. I can see that
Yeah,
for
oh,
me,
yeah.
like shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, definitely. And be like an old lady with like mad tats.
What's your next tattoo gonna be?
I want to finish my back. I feel like I only have like a scorpion. And I want to like complete it more. But I do want to stick and poke, like really bad, like a tribal one on my back, or like
Yeah,
I was thinking a tree. I feel really connected to trees, so maybe like a tree.
I've got a really
something
good
cool.
artist.
Do you?
Stick and poke Max.
Yeah.
Great.
I think
guy.
I want like a tree stick and poke, like on my back. I think I would love that.
Like a big one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. He's
That's
done a
my
lot
next
of my
one.
stuff.
Really?
A lot of it. He did
What is
my
your
neck
favorite
tattoo.
one from? That one's beautiful. I like the simplicity of your tattoos.
Yeah, yeah.
And like,
Zero complexity.
there's like an
Full
elegance to it. Yeah.
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 I mean, some
This
of them
one's
are
new. I
very
haven't seen
random,
this
I
one
can't
yet.
lie to you. Really? Yeah, this
Mhm.
is old. This is June.
Really?
What year is it? 2023? June 2022 I got this.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, my newer ones are up here actually. I have a banana.
Oh my
My
god,
cat,
for
she doesn't
banana.
even know how much I love her. I got a banana on my arm.
That's
And
so cute.
then I have an alien here as well. Those are the newer
That's
ones,
cute.
really.
I was talking to Gab, and she says she does stick and pokes too, and she showed me one she did on herself.
Yeah.
Mad
She
cute.
also, that's another dude, during COVID, me and Gab, we got antsy in that house. We went a little nuts. And I just had this like one tattoo artist on speed dial. I'd call him like once a month and be like, yo. Me and Gab would go in. Gab and Tati would go in. I'd take all my friends in there and get tattoos. And Gab somehow, some way, one day convinced him to let her give herself the tattoo.
Wow.
Instead. I couldn't believe it, honestly. You know?
She's a slick talker.
Oh, she did a great job.
Yeah,
she did. It was like a little red heart on her finger, but she did a fantastic job. She's an artist, that one. So
yeah,
she is so talented. So she should be.
We're talking about you, Gab.
And at Gab,
he probably knows already.
She would be a really, really good tattoo artist.
Tattoo party.
Ooh,
Hey,
I want to
get a Gab.
I want to learn how to.
You want to make some money, Gab?
Hey, Gab, you want to get paid, Gab?
Hit us up if you're
On the next Silk
Hit us
Talk.
up
We'll
on the
know.
next episode of Silk Talk.
We'll know if she
podcast.
watched it because she'll call one of us and be like, "Yo."
No, someone had the dope idea of us. I think Sushi said it. She was like, "You guys should get tattoos on the podcast."
Ooh.
Like, imagine a podcast and getting a sticker
Yeah.
quote.
No,
It has
say
to be like
less.
annoying. It has to be like a really annoying questions.
What do you mean?
Because like when you get a tattoo, it's kind of like irritating. Like, do you ever get mad? When you
Oh,
get a tattoo?
yeah, I know what you mean.
So I feel like the questions have to be like a little annoying to see how you answer it.
Yeah.
I feel like
Okay.
it'd be funny.
Like skin crawling questions.
Yeah, you're like
Skin
Weird
crawling
shit.
question.
Yeah,
Oh, like personal, like.
it doesn't have to be like personal. It could just be like something stupid.
Surface level pain.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, so let's see. It's you and Drew.
What
left.
for like the hardest time?
The hardest time that you've had in LA, and how did you overcome?
Yeah, you can close it. I'll go. Let's see here. I guess everybody's picking pandemic stuff. Makes sense.
Oh, I
But
got plenty.
Definitely makes sense.
yeah, I guess I would say when no, I'll be more creative. Let me think. I think now, like more recently, the last few months, like just this last year since I closed my store, because I came to LA to open a store, be a store owner, kind of like, you know, get the networking going by having a location. So now I just sell online and have a showroom. And I haven't really been pushing social media, so I don't know. I've been at a crossroads, like kind of like, why am I in LA? Kind of a thing. Obviously, you know, me and Tori live together. You know, we have a nice loft, like showroom that we live in, so it's pretty dope. But at the same time, it's like you have to go all out while you're here. So sometimes you wonder, like, you know, at least for me, not having the store, it would be like if you stop rapping. Like, why would you be here? You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, I'm pretty creative. So at the same time, I'm working on projects and keeping myself busy, and I'm learning to just enjoy LA for what it is. Like, not necessarily what I came here for, but just like the weather, the hiking, the good food, trying to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, just like enjoying it. Because I am from California, so part of me is just like enjoying California for what it is, because I don't know, it is definitely a rat race. So I think even if you are networking and hustling out here like you're supposed to be, if you don't take the time to smell the roses, like LA's still gonna chew you up and spit you out. So for me, it's like I'm just being sustainable out here, and I'm learning to just enjoy life out here, like for the first time. I'm like not focused on the rat race, just like actually thinking, hey, LA's not a bad place. Like, it's expensive, but I'm enjoying it. Like, whatever. That's kind of where I'm at. But that's how I overcame it. I had to change my mindset to where, like, it felt like, man, fuck this place. Like, if I'm not going to be having a store, like, you know, bitter feelings, they shut me down. California shut down all the businesses for like a whole year. So there was a lot of bitter feelings. But at the end of the day, I was like taking the time to smell the roses, kind of rethink how I'm looking at life. So fuck it. You can just enjoy LA too. You can just enjoy the weather. You don't have to be consumed in the culture here to enjoy your life here. But you got to be prepared to be making money. Like, I still have a hustle. Like, I still have to make bread in order to even do that, you know? So,
Wow.
it's like elite living too. Everything's elite here. Elite networking, elite food, elite living if you can afford it. Like, but you got to hustle. Like,
You did better than me. I had a little rough patch. back.
Me too.
Last
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah.
And instead of sticking it out, I literally fled the country.
Yeah, I don't blame anyone that leaves either. Like,
Yeah,
I was
I
rethinking
had to.
everything, but fuck it, you know? Like, you're here, though, so.
I'm back.
You are doing
I'm back.
You're back.
I did miss it.
Very happy to have you back, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here. I feel the same way as
Right.
you know? Slow down a little bit
Right.
and just, like, enjoy LA
Hey,
for what it
we
is.
might not be here forever in LA, so
Right.
it's like at the same time, it's like you gotta enjoy it while you're here, you know?
Hell yeah.
Facts.
There's some upsides, a lot. you
There
know?
are.
Yeah, I
There
feel like
are.
we talked really positive, like about the LA experience.
Yeah, we
Like,
could
really
talk
did.
shit. We
Hey,
could.
we're
We
all
didn't
here.
I
though.
could
We
sit
didn't
here
like
and shit
sit
on
here
traffic.
and-
But like
That
when
just
I
shows our
went back to
perspectives.
Boston, when I went to Florida, coming back to LA, I'm like, I love LA.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
but
love
the-
hearing this from you because you have
Like,
times where you're
I'd
like,
definitely
fuck LA.
rather be in LA than like Florida or Boston.
Yeah.
Like
Hell yeah.
living. Like I love going to Florida and Boston, but I wouldn't want to live there.
It's like babies.
I want to go to
You'll be
more
like, all
places.
right, I'm done. And give them back.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done. I'm going to get on the plane.
Hawaii, I could have saw myself living there, but
Yeah.
Every time I go there,
I don't
get
know.
attached, yeah.
I've
maybe
yet to
if I
go.
was like swimming with dolphins and like
no.
made a business out of that. Just kidding.
A dolphin swimming business.
Yeah.
I swim with manta
Let's go
rays
swim with the
Oh, that's
dolphins.
beautiful.
I
in
know.
Hawaii.
Dude.
Shit
I
was
want to do that. Did you do
wild.
it at night?
We did it at night. We had these
like
noodles
Hawaii is
under our
different.
legs. They said our safe word was noodle. We got in the water. One manta ray came up to the thing. Gab was like, noodle, noodle, noodle.
You're so big.
There's GoPro footage. I gotta
Oh my
find
god, I
it.
would love to see
Yeah,
that.
I think my dad has it.
I
I
could
gotta
go through
find
my
it.
GoPro footage underwater. GoPro's like the best underwater.
Yeah, it's just like close-ups of all of our faces, you know? It's like me and Gab
So cool.
screaming underwater, manta rays, like 1 inch. It's wild
It's
footage.
fucking beautiful.
I've been tripping.
Never before seen.
Oh, man. Well. Then there was one.
Can I do the same thing you did? And I was like, I don't want to say anything. It's a long story.
Make it short.
The hardest
Shorten it.
time I've had in LA is probably like when me and you broke up and I didn't have a place to live and I just like was sleeping on my friends' couches. Tori took me in for a while and like I said with G, shout out G. And like I just like I feel like my energy is very grounding and I'm really root chakra heavy. So I feel like my root chakra wasn't there. Like I feel like it was really low or like non-existent, and I just had a hard time not feeling stable when like my entire energy is stable. So like I just felt like I just had a wild point in my life where I just wasn't stable. And like once like things got better, I found my own place. I still catch myself with this energy that's a little bit like the universe is trying to show me that I am my own stability outside of myself. I'm like going through periods of time where like I'm living off like a little bit of money and like I'm still surviving and it's amazing. And like I feel like the universe is showing me a person that's always like had money because I'm a nurse and like did a whole bunch of things and like finding not fulfillment in those areas and deciding like I'm gonna be able to survive and live like no matter where I am. Like I think the universe is always constantly showing me that I am my own safeness.
I feel that.
And like that's just it's been a little hard for me to suck it up and swallow because I have those like scares and doubts, but like I always end up being okay.
That's good.
So that's like my current
feel
life
that.
lesson I'm going through right now. It's a little tough. It's like I do have a lot of anxiety about it sometimes, but yoga has been helping a lot with that.
Yoga.
And like taking time for myself.
Deep breaths. Connecting back to like our own life force.
Connecting to our bodies and like I just like connect. I need to like my life path number is 7, so like I'm here to help the world ascend and hear greater than myself for spirit. I'm like supposed to be here for spirit, and like I feel like I have to learn these type of life lessons to like live off little or like have points in my life where like I'm not balanced so I can show other people how to be balanced. So this is like one of my I feel like journeys right now. It's still kind of tough for me, but like I feel like I'm doing real good. Sucks Like Podcast.
Sweetie.
Thank you.
Amazing.
And I'm gonna graduate and become a yoga instructor tomorrow. As you guys see this.
Hey, we celebrating.
In yoga.
Celebration
I'm so excited.
tomorrow.
I worked really
Yeah.
hard. Like I want to talk a little bit about the experience. I feel like I've only been practicing for like 2 years maybe. And like I know I didn't want to pay for the training because it was like $1,400. I didn't have that. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get that. But I knew I wanted to become a teacher once I worked at the studio at the front desk. I knew, like, I was already a nurse, so I had the energy in me to be a leader and, like, to speak on other people's behalfs. And I feel like when you become an instructor, you're speaking to the body and teaching it how to move. So, like, I was already teaching people how to be healthy and live off, like, being in the medical field. So I feel like it was a great transition for me. I knew, like, I wanted to become one but not pay. So it was possible to, shout out Hot Yoga, not sponsored by them, to, like, do yoga every day for 30 days. It's called the 30-day challenge. You do hot yoga every day for 30 days. You pick a time in the day and you spend yourself like an hour. And once you do it and you post it on social media, like, every day, you have a chance of, like, winning a teacher training. So I did it. I worked really hard. I was almost going to die, literally. Felt like I was going to, like, have an IV because I had no like electrolytes in me. Yeah. I feel like I didn't do it the right way. You start slow and then you finish strong. Not start strong and finish slow.
Drink some
dehydrating too if you're not replenishing that.
Yeah,
water,
not like taking the time to. And like I worked 3 jobs at the time too.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It was just a lot. But I did it and I went to school. I picked yin yoga and like it's been teaching me to be more intentional in my movements, to go slower, to be in stillness and depth and honor it through the length of time. Mm-hmm. That's the 3 principles of yin yoga.
Yeah. What, I want to talk about yin yoga a little bit too. Yin yoga is a really special practice.
Is it?
Yeah, yin is about, it's about teaching your body how to move, but it's also about teaching your body how to stay still.
Yes.
But it's about teaching your body and examining and like exploring the body.
Yes.
And how far you can go. When you're in these poses for such a long time, it can get really frustrating. Emotions can come up, and there's a really special way. You're going to be an amazing yin yoga teacher.
Thank you so much, Kayla.
Because there's just a really special way for a teacher to hold energy in space for their students to be able to feel those emotions and be open to them. Rather than so closed off and be a little vulnerable in that moment.
It's a very vulnerable practice.
Things can come up.
Definitely.
We forget we hold emotions in the body, and if we're not learning how to send oxygen and how to send breath and love to those places and make space in the body, then there's no point in the asana.
Yeah.
The asana is the movement, and the movement's only one part.
And the asana is
yoga.
It's the newest part of yoga.
Yeah, exactly. And the stillness, that came first.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I feel like I needed to learn it to teach myself to stand still because I can't even stand still.
Yeah.
Like even in bed with Anu, he's like, stop moving. And I'm like, I feel like I've been so much better at like keeping my body still.
You've been improving.
Yeah.
On the record, she been improving a lot. No
She's
cap.
sleeping like a mummy now, just like, whoa.
And
she picked one position and stick to it.
Drew, you even
All
said
night.
it
I
too.
said,
what
You
happened?
said that LA is a rat race, and it's true. It's easy to
Yeah.
get caught up in that.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking exhausting.
If you move to like Montana, you will not feel the same thing you feel living here. Like,
Hell
Different
no.
dimension.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's
You know.
quiet, it's peaceful.
But you're
Yeah.
still gonna have
You know
your
what I
own
mean?
stresses.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's just different.
The
You know what I
universe
mean?
it's a balance
It's a
of
choice.
positive and negative. Everyone
Facts.
is always gonna have positive and negative experiences.
Right.
You just gotta pick your poison.
Facts.
You know, if you want to go through that LA struggle and
Right.
that LA grind,
Hey,
alright,
but
cool.
we're all motivated to be here. That's what I learned from this like topic is like through all the hard shit, something about LA kept us coming
Keeps
back.
us-
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like
all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Like,
I hope
you know
through
what
all
I'm
the
saying?
podcast experiences, people like learn a little bit more about themselves as they're on it. Like it's for other people to watch, but I also like to pick the guests because I would like the guests to learn more about themselves. And as you talk and have experiences and talk to each other about how you feel, you learn more about who you are because we're just all reflections of each other.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's beautiful to see.
Yeah. It's an interesting topic too.
Yeah.
So many different.
yeah, it's like an onion. There's so many different layers to it. You know what I'm saying? And even with this however long conversation we've been having, it's like there's still so much more
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
to dive
So
into.
So much.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
But
So if you're watching this
much.
podcast, I
how
definitely want
long
to say
has it
thank you.
been?
We love you. It's been almost 2 hours.
Oh, shit.
Hour 52.
Yep.
So I think we could wrap it up with one last question.
Okay.
If we could all go through briefly on any advice you'd give to someone watching this who may want to move to LA.
Yep.
What's some advice that you'd want to give them for them to keep in consideration before they make the journey? Who'd like to go first?
advice for them?
I'll go first.
All right, Kayla.
Yeah.
What kind of advice would you give to someone that's wanting to move to LA?
I would give the advice of just honestly, simply stay strong.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough, especially when you don't know anybody out here. It's a new place, like new city, new layout, new people, new environment, like new vibe, new culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot, and it's a lot to take in. There's a lot to unpack about this city, but there's also a lot to take in,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And it can get very overwhelming. So I would say that, you know, the first like 6 months to a year, it takes time to make a new place home,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So
Yeah,
I would say
definitely.
endure the hard moments because it does get better.
Mm-hmm.
Just like anywhere that you'd go, you have to build a life somewhere. And so it takes time and it takes
Mhm.
patience. Have patience.
Love that. Love
Yeah.
that.
I agree
Who'd
with
like
that.
to go next? That's facts.
Facts.
I guess I'll go next.
Sure.
I feel like what is it again, the question?
What's a piece of advice you'd give to someone that wants to move to LA?
Plan a little bit before you go.
Mm.
For me, like that helped me a little bit, was to like plan my strategy and how I was going to get there so I can think and not have to rush into the grind right away. I ended up saving up 10,000. I didn't have to work for about 3 months. So I was able to enjoy my stay in LA, and I knew I would go back to work. And I knew the type of person I was. I knew I would go back to work and still have the money. I think I made 10K last like over 2 years. I feel like I used like the rest of my 10K when I like got my second apartment. So I was able to furnish 2 apartments with 10K
That's
and like
crazy.
save money, and like I was able to make it last for a while. But I feel like having the preparation and being ready, and then like pick and choose the advice you take from people when you move. Like, you know what you want to do and why you want to move. As long as you have your intention why, use that to motivate you. But watch where you watch out where you get your advice from. Like me and Anu watched a lot of YouTube videos at the time about how to move to LA, right? And then it was like so many different types of advice about it that were like so crazy. I remember like this
The
one girl talked
wormhole.
about she had like no friends, and like Anu was like, she was a weirdo. Like, do you remember that one video we watched? We just like so many different inputs and like advice on it about how to take it. So just like watch who you can take advice from and just plan a little bit before you go. That's my advice.
Love that. That's a good piece of advice. Plan ahead.
Yeah.
Very true.
So I would say,
Let
have
me ask
no
the question.
fear. Do that shit.
Let me ask the question one more time,
Okay.
so we can make a reel out of it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Think about the
I got
future, right?
you.
Right, man?
This topic
smart.
is hella like real
Real.
status.
Oh, D.
You know
Yeah.
It's real
what I'm
worthy.
saying? Like,
We're going
real
viral,
worthy.
baby. We're going viral. So, Tori, what is
me.
one piece of advice you'd give to someone that wants to move to LA?
One piece of advice I would give is to have no fear. Do it.
Fuck your fear.
Make a
How do you do
plan, you know. Make
a
a good
plan.
plan for yourself so it's not difficult once you get here. You don't want to stress once you get here. Like, definitely, like T said, try to save up some money. Like, do what you got to do. Grind. Get that money up. Have some kind of savings. Maybe, like, connect with some people on social media that live out here that you want to connect with. Hit them up. Like, just fucking do it. Don't, like, worry. Basically, like, yeah, just believe in yourself. If you're gonna fucking move out here, you better believe in yourself and do it with confidence and do it for the right reasons, and you'll be good.
Beautiful.
You got
Love
this.
That's some great game,
Yeah,
gang.
for real.
Some great game. What about you,
Yeah.
Drew? What is one piece of advice that you would give to someone that wants to move to LA?
I would say one piece of advice if you're gonna move to LA, probably don't make the same mistake that I did. Like, smell the roses out here because you're gonna be hustling your ass off. So like, go on hikes, go to the beach, enjoy the weather, actually get some sunlight. Because I went like a year out here with no sunlight, and there's no excuse for that. Like, you can hustle. So that's an exaggeration a little bit, but the truth is, like, you can hustle so hard that, like, you literally don't even enjoy it. Like, and there's a lot to enjoy. So I would say, you know what I'm saying, don't go too fast when you get here.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Oh, man. Let's see. One piece of advice that I would give to someone that wants to move to LA is to
Bring a silk robe.
bring a silk robe. Stop playing. What's some shades in the do-rag? You heard it here first. Nah, one piece of advice that I would give to someone that wants to move to LA is, above all else, keep faith in yourself.
You're gonna say that.
Keep faith in yourself. There are going to be days where you don't know what's going to happen next week. That's how I feel. I can say that right now. I don't know what's going to happen next week. I don't know what type of business deal going to come through or what's going to happen. I don't know. But you got to learn to be vulnerable to the universe. And you need to learn to just have faith in the process and enjoy the journey. The journey is the destination. We so focused on the finish line. It's like, nah, bro. Like, the finish line, it's going to come. We know it's going to come. But the experience that you're going to have between then, the people you're going to meet, the trials and tribulations, that's all to build you into the person that you need to be in order to reach the finish line.
That's the meat and potatoes.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, just pay attention to the clues that the universe is going to give you. The universe always gives clues, always gives signals. The universe wants you to win. So just have faith in the process and have fun, man. And don't get so caught up in this 3D reality of, like, oh, I got to do this. I got to pay my bills. Da, 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 da. Like, just have faith it's going to happen. Have faith it's going to happen. Like, if that, like, this is exactly something that, like, if I could tell my younger self before I came to LA, I would tell myself this. Like, nigga, just chill. It's gonna work. Like, you know, just having that mentality that no matter what, it's gonna work in your favor, bro. On top of what everyone else said, you take all that into consideration, you gonna be all right. You gonna be good. But with that being said, this is a conclusion of Silk Talk episode 5. Hey. Man, it passed by so quick. We've been on for 2 hours. Officially the longest stream.
That flew by.
Crazy.
It flew by so quick.
Facts.
Too quick.
This fucking clock doesn't even tell the
beautiful
right
things, and I just want to take the time to thank you guys all for coming.
Thank you for
and wanting to
Thank
be
you
a part.
for having us.
Oh my God, thank you. Let's tell everyone where we can, like, get in contact with you. I'm Goddess Divinity 333 on Instagram.
And this is Honor the Deity. Everyone's link is currently in the caption of the YouTube video. Already put it there. So make sure you go through, hit everyone's shit. But I'm Honor the Deity, host of Silk Talk Podcast, recording artist of 4 years, CEO of BKOSEASON, BKOSeason.com, the illest socks in the world. I got the red, I got the white. We feeling good, we looking good. I Love You Too dropping super soon. I Love You out right now, only on YouTube and SoundCloud.
I feel like I should have a stage name of some sorts. My name is just my name. I feel like I should be more creative.
I am who I
about
am.
it.
That is all.
My name is KAYLA Parlante. That's also my tag. That's where you can find me.
Oh, man.
Drew, Maroon Studios on Instagram. Come shop. Come buy clothes off of us.
Yeah.
That is all.
Come shop with us. We'll get you drippy for any occasion.
Yes. Tori, the illest stylist in the world, by the way.
Seriously.
She got me right. The Bob Rugrat music video, you can find it on his YouTube channel, Bob Rugrat. The music video was styled by Tori, the one and only. Also, that performance I had at the Penthouse, that little silky thing I had on my head, that was Tori's idea. Tori gonna get you right. Tori, and there's been multiple other occasions that Tori's come through and did some
Sometimes I
stuff.
just go out at night and I'm like, Tori, can you dress me?
Yeah, anytime.
Nah, she the one.
You
Reach
know?
out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Always
We got what you
down.
need.
And do my makeup.
We got
Always
what you
down.
need.
Wearing the actual silk shirt.
Yeah.
Some silk.
Yeah,
And
Tori
there's
got
all
on
there's
actual
vintage
silk.
right
And
now.
some silk.
Actual-
This is polyester here.
That's polyester, but everything else,
Some silk.
silk. Oh, we gotta look at the tag. We gotta look at the tag. But anyway,
Actual silk.
I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in again. let's see, episode 6. What date is episode? Is that
it's June 3rd?
is that
That's
the
Nino,
homeboy?
Yeah.
Oh man, Nino on episode 6. It's gonna be lit. Stay tuned to our Instagram. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that. Peace. Farewell.
Adios, amigos.
Adios, amigos.
Adios. Adios. Be safe. And good night.
And good night.
I'm high.
Yeah, I'm high as fuck.
Yeah,